Hey guys, it's Anthony Meal. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the song Old Brass Wagon. This is a great song for teaching Tika-Tika or Tiri-Tiri or whatever you use to teach the concept of 4/16 notes, since 3 of the 4 phrases of every verse use Tika-Tika, so it's pretty nice. Before I teach the games to any of my kiddos, I make them show me that they can sing the entire song from memory. If they can't, then they won't be able to really focus on the task at hand of the game. Once your kiddos show you that they can sing the song from memory, then it's time to start the game. And I'll typically have a couple volunteers to show a demonstration of how the game goes. And I'll typically take a couple of kiddos that I foresee might struggle with the game, and then a couple of leaders too. This way the kiddos that might struggle, they get an extra free practice, and we can kind of guide them along before the full game happens. So to start, you're going to have a circle of 8 kiddos. You're going to have the heads of a circle and the heads of the circle, so they're going to be standing across from each other. And you're going to have the sides and sides. So they need to identify themselves as the heads and the sides. If they don't, the next part of the game will get confusing. So, first verse of the song is Circle to the Left, Old Brass Wagon. This is probably the easiest part of the whole entire song. I'll have the kids figure out which way is clockwise. Sometimes it helps them visualize if they look straight down at the ground and you actually put a clock on the ground so they can actually see the way that a second hand will turn around the clock. Then they're ready to go clockwise. Now I always pretend to have them draw chalk lines around their feet. So at the end of the verse, they should be exactly where they started. If they don't, the next part of the game gets pretty confusing. So after the first verse, they should be back in their spots. Then the next part is heads to the center and sides to the center. So the heads that have identified themselves are going to be taking 4 steps on the beat towards each other. So it's heads to the center, old brass, and on the word wagon, they're going to high-five each other. And everyone else in the group just gets to clap on the word wagons. And then the heads go back. Heads to the center, old brass, and everyone claps on wagons. Then on sides to the center, the sides go. Sides to the center, old brass, and then we're all going to clap, clap. Wagons, you're the one, my dar, and on ling, everyone claps. Third verse is a little bit of a tongue twister. It's right and left through to the opposite lady. So we'll have the heads start off again. And the heads, instead of high-fiving each other in the middle, they're actually going to meet each other on beat 4. So right and left through to the opposite lady, and on lady they're going to high-five each other with just one hand, and they're going to keep walking through to their opposite partner's side. So it's right and left through to the opposite lady, right and left through to the opposite lady, and then the sides get to go, and they're going to be the gents. So the gents go to and don't be shady, and they high-five on shady, and they're going to take their opposite partner's spot. And then it's going to be you're the one, my dar, and then everyone claps on ling. So then they should be on their opposite partner's spot. The final part is tricky. I'll typically have all of my students just take a seat and I will demonstrate with just one student. So it's going to be the promenade home. So I always tell them that they're going to be moving clockwise around the circle again, and they're going to be traveling back home to their original spot. So to travel there, they're going to be promenading. So they're going to be holding hands with their partner, the partner that they were standing next to, and they're going to have a lead hand. I always like to tell them like it's the front of a boat and they're steering their boat back to their spot. So that lead hand is the hand that they're following. Now that lead hand is also going to be the hand that's going to be going over their bodies. So it's going to be promenade home, old brass wagon, promenade home, old brass wagon, and then on the word swing your own, they're going to take that lead hand and they're going to bring it over their heads, and I always tell them they need to watch the hand go over their head. If they don't, you're going to have kiddos going like this, and then they get all twisted up. So they need to watch the hand go over, and it's swing your own, old brass wagon, you're the one, my dar, ling, and they should be back to their spots by then. Once they've been able to do each verse separately, then I'll try to extend it. So then I'll have them do verse 1 and 2 without stopping, and then verse 3 and 4 without stopping, and then eventually they'll be able to do the whole entire song without stopping, and they'll have a blast. If you have any questions, post down below. Otherwise, please subscribe and stick around. There's going to be the extras. So once your kiddos know how to do the entire song, I call them the levels. So they pass level 1, they go to level 2, and it's more of a challenge. So stick around for those, and the video is somewhere over here. Thanks. Bye-bye.